This is QTV Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM. I'm Umudu Gajaga, and thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. The WACA Resilience Investment Project 2 is investing $5 million to empower over 40,000 beneficiaries, including women, youth, and persons living with disability through its livelihood improvement program, while supporting sustainable management of the Kotu stream. The Gambia legal community and Gambians worldwide are mourning the death of senior advocate Ousman Silla, a distinguished lawyer, former acting Chief Justice, and national football hero. Following a massive fire at the market, President Adama Barrow has pledged financial assistance and stronger safety measures to rebuild Albert Market and prevent future fire incidents. On Tuesday, in a high-level authorization ceremony held at the Gambia's National Assembly, the Gambia Public Procurement Authority officially granted procurement autonomy to 13 public institutions in a bid to enhance the judicious spending of public resources. The Gambia Revenue Authority (GRA), with support from the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, today concluded a two-day sensitization forum on the Integrated Tax Administration System (ITAS) for taxpayers in the Kanifing municipality. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us. This is QTV News. The WACA Resilience Investment Project 2 is investing $5 million to empower over 40,000 beneficiaries, including women, youth, and persons with disabilities, through its Livelihoods Improvement Program, while supporting sustainable management of the Kotu stream. Our Bob reports.
The WACA program was created in response to countries' requests for solutions and finance to help protect and restore the ecological, social, and economic assets of West Africa's coastal areas by addressing erosion and flooding. In the Gambia, the project focuses on restoring and reprofiling the 11.2-kilometer Kotu stream to reduce flood risk and population, strengthen public policies and institutions, and create sustainable economic opportunities for vulnerable communities along the stream. Here are Masane Landing Sise, project coordinator at WACA, and Yusfa Keta, the International Trade Center country director, respectively.
The livelihood program will invest $5 million of the 45 to support those and many other ventures across the 11 communities along the Kotu stream, targeting 4,000 households.
At ITC, we believe that economic resilience begins with people, with their skills, their ideas, and their ability to connect to markets. Our mandate is clear: to strengthen the private sector and MSMEs by building the capacity to compete, capacity to change, and capacity to collaborate.
The West Africa Coastal Area Resilience Investment Project 2 is the second phase of the West Africa Coastal Areas Management Program, which operates across 9 West African countries. WACA Resilience Investment Project 2 focuses on the Gambia, Ghana, and Guinea-Bissau, while the first phase of the program covers Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Mauritania, Senegal, Sao Tome and Principe, and Togo. Matar Toure, representing the World Bank, reaffirmed the bank's strong commitment and continued support to the West Africa Coastal Areas Resilience Investment Project 2 and to the Gambia's efforts to strengthen coastal resilience and climate adaptation.
The World Bank remains committed to working with the government, local communities, and partners to ensure all these investments translate into safer, greener, and more inclusive livelihoods. Together, we can transform vulnerability into opportunity and build a future where resilience and prosperity go hand in hand.
President Barrow applauded the WACA initiative, describing it as a timely and strategic intervention to address coastal erosion and the impacts of climate change.
The WACA project has supported the development of several landmark legislative and policy instruments. The Gambia first ever climate change bill, the first national land policy, the first national rainwater harvesting policy, and the National Disaster Risk Management Policy are examples.
Together with the International Trade Center, the lead service provider for the Livelihoods Program, the project will promote investments in climate-smart businesses, provide training, mentorship, and business advisory services, and offer startup and expansion grants to youth and women entrepreneurs and cooperatives to stimulate sustainable business growth. For QTV News, I am Awa Bob.
The Gambian legal community and Gambians worldwide are mourning the death of senior advocate Ousman Silla, a distinguished lawyer, former acting Chief Justice, and a national football hero. Known for his courage and principles, he survived a targeted assassination attempt by the junglers in 2003, a year before the killing of journalist Deda Haidara. Ousman Jatta has the details.
Ousman Silla, who was widely regarded as one of the finest legal minds the Gambia has ever produced, a senior advocate whose career was marked by fearless advocacy and an unwavering commitment to justice. Born in Banjul on July 12, 1939, Silla rose to become one of the country's most distinguished learned souls, serving at the highest levels of the judiciary, including a stint as acting Chief Justice. Yet, it was his work as a defense lawyer representing clients others feared to stand beside that truly defined his legacy. Early in his life, Ousman Silla briefly served in the Gambia police force before fully transitioning into law and public service. He served as defense counsel for Baba Jobe, once a powerful ally of former President Yahya Jammeh, and later represented Ibrahim Yabo in a high-profile treason trial. For Silla, the principle was simple and unshakable. Every person, regardless of status or accusation, deserves a vigorous defense under the law. That belief came at a very heavy cost. In December 2003, Ousman Silla was shot multiple times outside his residence by members of the Junglers, a paramilitary hit squad operating under state orders. He survived, but without profound injuries. One kidney was lost, and his face was permanently disfigured. After months of treatment in Dakar, Senegal, publicly for the first time in February 2004, shortly after being discharged from hospital, words later published by the independent newspaper, the doctors in Senegal have removed the bullets and handed them to my wife. I have lost one kidney and my face has been disfigured, but I thank God for my life, and nearly 2 decades later, justice caught up with part of that dark chapter. In 2023, a German court convicted by law a former jungler driver for his role in the attempted murder of Ousman Silla, classifying it as a crime against humanity. Former Interior Minister Ousmane Sonko has also been named in international legal proceedings linked to the case. Beyond the courtroom, Ousman Silla's life carried another remarkable chapter. Before law, there was football. He was once the captain of the Gambia's national football team, a gifted player who scored in a historic 2-0 victory over Senegal. He was also the first head boy of Gambia's senior secondary school, then known as Gambia High School, a sign, even in youth, of a man destined for leadership. Today, the Gambia has lost more than a lawyer. It has lost a symbol of courage, intellect, and resilience. Like the great figures of the nation's past, Justice Mam Yasin C. and Biri Biri, the name Ousman Silla will endure in the country's history books. Ousman Jatta, QTV News.
President Adama Barrow has pledged financial assistance and stronger safety measures to rebuild Albert Market and prevent future fire incidents. The assurance comes after a massive fire engulfed parts of the historic market in Banjul, destroying dozens of stalls and goods. Ousman Jatta again.
This is what remains of Banjul's historic Albert Market following Saturday night's devastating fire. As with previous fires at the Brickhammer, Serekunda and Basse markets, traders here lost almost everything. A growing trend many blame on poor market infrastructure and in some cases electrical faults. On Monday, President Adama Barrow, accompanied by officials from the Banjul City Council and other stakeholders, toured the affected area. He expressed sympathy with traders and reaffirmed government's commitment to recovery and reconstruction.
Responsibility mooy suñ nekkee ci marché ñun ñëpp dañu war am ay sart waaye marché warta nekk rek.
We should all take responsibility in a market and follow proper procedures. A market should not be designed in a way that allows everyone to do whatever they like. This is how most of our markets are structured. All stakeholders from the governor to this Banjul City Council have roles to play, but the market must be governed by clear guidelines. The structure of this market shows it has not been upgraded for a long time. If you strike a match, it will burn. We need to modernize the market to prevent future fires.
The Albert Market fire is the latest in a series of incidents in the capital. A separate blaze was reported days later at a residential building on Lancaster Street. The fire reportedly started around 11 p.m. in the Sandikar area near the beach end of the market, which mainly houses carpentry workshops. Firefighters from the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service, with support from the State House Fire Unit, battled the flames throughout the night. Local youths and market vendors also assisted by fetching water from the nearby river. No deaths or injuries were reported. However, officials estimate that at least 50 stalls were affected. Furniture, retail stock and personal belongings were destroyed. As of December 23rd, the cause of the fire remains unknown. The Banjul City Council and the National Disaster Management Agency have launched a joint investigation. Ousman, QTV News.
From that story by Ousman, we will now go for a commercial break, and when we return, we still have more national news stories. Do stay tuned.
Browse with us. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25. Yes! Recharge $25 and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for the perfect place to promote your product or place your advert? Look no further than QTV. We are the premier destination for businesses looking to connect with Gambian audiences and beyond. At QTV, we offer a variety of advertising solutions to suit your needs and budget. With our diverse range of programming, you can be sure that your ad will reach a broad and engaged audience. From our popular news broadcast to our exciting music and entertainment programming, QTV has something for everyone. QTV, the premier destination for advertising in the Gambia. Contact us today and let us help you reach your audience.
Welcome back, and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is QTV News. On Tuesday, in a high-level authorization ceremony held at the Gambia's National Assembly, the Gambia Public Procurement Authority (GPPA) officially granted procurement autonomy to 13 public institutions in a bid to enhance the judicious spending of public resources. Mam Nabuka was in attendance, and see now reports.
The Gambia Public Procurement Authority (GPPA) is the main regulatory body for public procurement in the Gambia. Its primary role is to ensure effective use of public funds for goods, works, and services by enforcing established procurement rules that promote transparency, accountability, and fairness. The authority can authorize certain public institutions to independently conduct their procurement activities without prior approval for each stage, provided they receive training and guidance from the Gambia Procurement Institute and meet certain standards. This latest cohort are the fourth batch of institutions granted procurement autonomy, increasing the total to 57 authorized organizations in the country, and marking a significant step in the GPPA's commitment to transforming and decentralizing procurement, reducing bureaucratic bottlenecks, and empowering agencies to manage their own needs. With their certificates of authorization officially handed over to them, institutions like the University of the Gambia, Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and National Human Rights Commission, among others, can now respond more swiftly to citizens' needs without requiring GPPA's approval at every purchase stage, essentially promoting accountability, efficiency, and prudent spending. Ibrahim Asanyang, Director of Procurement Policy and Operations at the GPPA, shared that a lot of key factors are examined before an institution is authorized.
Governance structures, staffing adequacy, procurement planning, record management, internal controls, and compliance history. Only institutions that pass this assessment are authorized for a consecutive and renewable 2-year period, subject to mandatory reviews at least every 2 years.
Here are Babukar Job, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Finance, and Fode Mjete, the Director General of GPPA, on the significance of this initiative and future developments.
I believe most of us here can attest to the visible improvements in procurement systems and controls over the years in the midst of numerous challenges. These gains must now be consolidated through discipline, leadership, and cooperation.
The way forward into the future, we intend to develop a complete EGP, a complete electronic system that will support all procurement processes. This is what we are working towards. But we need the support of the government.
Demba Cisse, the Director General of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, explained how they intend to execute the responsibility that has been entrusted onto them.
We hope to work judiciously by following the standards that are enshrined within this self-authorization paradigm, to the extent that when we are called to account for the funds that are given to us, we would have no second thought in showing that we have dispensed them in the manner required of us as an institution and as a government entity.
The GPPA remains committed to ensuring that public resources are managed effectively and that the benefits of this autonomy are realized across all sectors. Mam Nabuka, reporting for QTV News.
The Gambia Revenue Authority, GRA, with support from the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, today concluded a 2-day sensitization forum for the Integrated Tax Administration System, ITAS, for taxpayers in the Kanifing municipality. The first day had featured taxpayers from Banjul. Jacqueline Colley reports.
The forum is part of a broader tax administration reform agenda aimed at modernizing domestic tax administration, improving transparency, and strengthening voluntary tax compliance. A key component of the reform is the implementation of a 3-tier tax dispute prevention and resolution mechanism designed to promote fairness and enhance taxpayer confidence in the tax system. Mari Sarr, Deputy Commissioner of Small and Medium Taxpayers, emphasized the compliance and how the new system will assist that.
Compliance is costly. Currently, for one to comply, you need to walk or go to a GRA office, and that could be costly and time-consuming. But with the implementation of the system, they can sit in their offices or even after work at their homes. You log into the system and comply with whatever your requirements are.
Participants were sensitized on their rights and obligations under the law, including the core responsibilities of registration, declaration, payment, and accuracy in tax reporting. Officials noted that, while the authority has enforcement powers, taxpayers also have the right to challenge or dispute decision through established legal mechanisms. Commissioner Mari Sarr explains how this was received by the participants.
On the objections and appeals, some of them never knew that whatever the GRA decides is not final. They can object to it and contest it and bring their evidence to make so GRA change their decision to what they believe it should be. So there also they learned a lot and they appreciated the fact that this exists in the law as their rights. And going forward, they promise wherever they are in disagreement, they will follow due process to make sure they get a fair hearing to resolve that disagreement.
The sensitization also focused on the introduction of ITAS, a modern web-based platform that will replace the outdated GAM TaxNet. Isa Jallo is the Deputy Commissioner General of GRA.
This initiative forms part of our broader tax administration reforms agenda, which includes the implementation of a new integrated tax administration system to modernize and strengthen GRA's domestic tax administration processes. Together, these reforms seek to improve efficiency, accountability, and taxpayer confidence in the tax system.
GRA officials say the forum forms part of its ongoing engagement with taxpayers across various municipalities aimed at improving awareness, strengthening trust, and ensuring a successful transition to digital tax services. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jacqueline Collie.
The Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, MAJAC, held its fourth graduation ceremony at the QCity complex on Saturday under the theme Framing the Future, Media and Communication at the Heart of Development. Here is Mam Nabuka again.
The ceremony brought together family members, educators, industry professionals and dignitaries to honor and celebrate the MAJAC class of 2025. 90 graduates across 4 programs were awarded diplomas after completing a series of intensive training courses in various facets of journalism and communication. Now ready to make their mark in Gambia's media landscape, the graduates were encouraged by the Minister of Higher Education, Professor Pierre Gomez, in his keynote address to uphold ethical standards in utilizing their skills moving forward.
Anything you do, you must ask yourself whether it is in line with the common good. If it is not, then you would have failed your people, failed your family, failed the nation.
Sheriff Sidi Khan, the Vice President of the Gambia Press Union, and Ami Toure, representing the Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Ismaila Cisse, urged the graduates to prepare themselves for the Gambia's ever-changing media landscape.
With the democratization of media technology that allows citizens to engage in journalism and publication of many kinds has blurred the identity of journalists and the idea of what constitutes journalism or ethical journalism, especially as it relates to digital media in the 21st century.
The Honorable Minister encourages you to uphold the highest standards of journalism and communication. Let integrity guide your work. Let accuracy define your reporting, and let responsibility shape your engagement with the public.
Valedictorian Lamin B. Bara, the best graduating student of the MAJAC class of 2025, recounted his harrowing journey to success and encouraged his fellow graduates to embrace this memorable milestone and look forward to future endeavors.
Some of us live today not knowing what is next, and that is okay. If my story taught me anything, is that real success is not knowing all the answers, but daring to ask questions and keep pushing. The world out there isn't easy, but neither are we. We are the generation that fails, stand up, and tries again. We are the ones who turn fear into fuel. We are the ones that knows that falling is not failing. So today, I don't say goodbye. I say thank you. Thank you for the lessons, the memories, and the struggles, and the growth. And I say good luck, because the world has no idea what is coming. You.
James Baji, MAJAC's Director of Training, had some parting advice for the graduates.
Always keep learning. It never ends, it never stops. If you're, whatever area you are in, journalism, digital media, film, it's constantly evolving. I mean, you cannot use yesterday's methods and techniques to respond to today's problem. So every time something new is coming up, you're out there, it's always important that you're learning new things.
As the graduates officially walk out of Majak into the nation's workforce, they carry with them a renewed sense of optimism about the future of media and communication in the Gambia. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News.
Now, before we end this news bulletin, here's a recap of our main news headlines. The WACA Resilience Investment Project 2 is investing $5 million to empower over 40,000 beneficiaries, including women, youth, and persons with disabilities, through its Livelihoods Improvement Program, while supporting sustainable management of the Kotu stream. The Gambian legal community and Gambians worldwide are mourning the death of senior advocate Ousman Silla, a distinguished lawyer, former acting Chief Justice, and national football hero. Following a massive fire at the Banjul market, the Albert Market in Banjul, President Barrow has pledged financial assistance and stronger safety measures to rebuild Albert Market and prevent future fire incidents. On Tuesday, in a high-level authorization ceremony held at the Gambia's National Assembly, the Gambia Public Procurement Authority officially granted procurement autonomy to 13 public institutions in a bid to enhance the judicious spending of public resources. The Gambia Revenue Authority GRA, with support from the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, today concluded a two-day sensitization forum on the Integrated Tax Administration Systems, ITAS, for taxpayers in the Kanifing municipality. And to close, His Excellency President Adama Barrow has declared Thursday the 25th of December and Friday the 26th of December 2025, respectively, Christmas Day and Boxing Day as public holidays throughout the Gambia. Additionally, Thursday, the 1st of January 2026, has also been declared as public holiday as part of the New Year celebrations. That's it for QTV News. Thank you very much, but join us again at 10 for another bulletin.